Thanks for your company. The details now. Newly elected parliamentary candidate for the National Democratic Congress in the West constituency, Superintendent retired Peter Tobu says he will work to uplift the living standards of constituents through innovative consultation with relevant stakeholders. The Ghana Poverty Mapping Report for 2013 shows that West in the Upper West region has the poorest is the poorest at the district level. He said if given the nod in 2020, it wouldn't be long, and with the support of people, to see real change in their lives. Correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
Not many thought Superintendent Peter Lanchene Tubu retired stood a chance of upstaging a political colossus in the person of Joseph Yulechire. Some thought it was going to be a close contest, even if the retired police officer was to win. The incumbent, Joseph Yulechire, was in his usual jovial mood in his interaction with the delegates when the poll started. Little did the four-time MP know that his campaign, and for that matter, his career as an MP for West in the Upper West region, was on the shakiest ground. The former health minister, since 2004, had contested and comfortably won the West constituency seat for the National Democratic Congress. However, Saturday's primary was a different ball game when he came against a man who had been in the Ghana Police Service for over 2 decades and served for Inspectors General of Police. The 51-year-old Peter Tubu, a political rookie, started nurturing the ambition to unseat the veteran about a decade ago. He retired from the Ghana Police Service in May and joined the political wagon of the NDC. Tubu polled 775 out of a voting population of 1,140, while the veteran managed 314 votes. This is a staggering coup against a man who got to the political limelight 36 years ago as the first Upper West Regional Secretary for the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC. Superintendent Peter Tubu was still in secondary school Form 1.
I am going to bring some level of innovative processes into local governance. What I'm saying is that I have a vision which is clear. My vision is to be able to enhance living standards of my people, give them a better everyday life through customized innovation in collaboration with relevant stakeholders. And I'm sure with time you get to appreciate the fact that the passion to see my people get better is a passion that is real, it's a passion that is achievable, and it's a passion that with the support of the people, you all will come to appreciate that there is a need for change.
Joseph Yulechire was not around for concessional speech. It seems the music has stopped for the man who is used to dancing traditional bina during public gatherings. There was defeat for another incumbent, the parliamentarian for Jirpa constituency, where 2 former bedfellows pitched their strength against each other. Incumbent Dr. Francis Bawanandakura came face to face with his former campaign strategist and district chief executive in the John Mahama administration, Cletu Sedu Dapala. Cletu successfully truncated Dr. Dakura's second-term bid by polling 429 votes against 296 polled by his former boss. 4 other contestants in the race did not do much. However, in the West Central constituency, there was a landslide victory for incumbent MP Dr. Rashid Pelpuo. He went into the contest knowing well that the 3 other candidates standing against him have an equal chance of securing the sole ticket to represent the people of West Central on the ticket of the NDC. At the end of voting, sorting and collation, Dr. Pelpuo polled 787 out of the 1,391 votes.
I'm going to work towards ensuring that the people of West Central, jobs are created for the people. I will inspire them to see themselves as great people as they have always been. I will inspire them to go into business, which has always been the tradition in West Central. People like to do business. I will inspire them to make sure they understand the politics of the nation so they can go into other areas of endeavor.
There were also wins for 36-year-old health administrator Anthony Suma and former Upper West Regional Minister Bid Zeden in the Nodolokeleu and Lora constituencies respectively. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam.
So that's a wrap from the Upper West region. Now, let's move to another region. 13 incumbent MPs got their mandates renewed, at least to contest on the ticket of the NDC in 2020 by delegates Ablajifa Gomashi, Kwame Gakpe, Professor Margaret Poku, and Richard Sepe were the newly elected persons to represent the NDC on the ticket, to represent the constituent on the ticket of the NDC for the Ketu South, Keta, Hohoi, and Angno constituencies. Charles Agbeve went into the primaries unopposed in the Agotime Ziope constituency. Correspondent Fred Kwame Asare brings us a wrap of activities from the Volta region.
Indications that Ho Central would be a flashpoint were confirmed as the primary there was newly marred with a controversy with regards to some 6 new branches. 3 of the branches were said not to be properly constituted, while the rest had no EC code numbers. Calm was however restored and elections were held without the 6 branches participating. The incumbent, Benjamin Kpodo, beat 5 contenders, polling about 44.3% of the total valid votes at the end of the polls. In the Ketu South constituency, Jifa Abla Gomashi made history, being the first female NDC parliamentary candidate in the opposition party's stronghold nationwide. She had 585 votes to clinch victory, beating her closest contender, Foga Nukunu, with 30 votes. Madame Gomashi aims to build human capacity of constituents when she wins the 2020 parliamentary election.
I believe in human capacity, in building the human capacity. There's a lot in Ketu South that I find wanting. I think that our children and our youth need more role models. The constituency needs more synergy, and that's what I'm going to do. There are many other things that I proposed in my manifesto, and my policies. And I'm sure that there'll be opportunity for me to bridge what the other aspirants had with mine and see how we can together make Ketu South strong. It's all about NDC and Ketu South. And I'm going to work very hard for the NDC.
Incumbent MP for South Dai, Roxanne Dafiamekpo, beat off competition from Frank Kofi Day to win the NDC's spot in the 2020 parliamentary elections. He is sure to continue to evenly spread development projects across the constituency.
It means a reposition of the virtues that the delegates, the branch executives of party and the values that they have in me, they have reposed that remain again to continue to work assiduously in parliament, to articulate the interests of the party, of the constituents on the floor of the house, and to eventually topple the NPP gap. If you look at the quantum of the funds that come in as the MP share of the common fund, so small that you can really not do much with the monies that come in yearly to roll out some of these things. But like they say, it's a cake. You have to share it bit by bit for everybody to have their share.
De La Soa was retained to contest for a 3rd term in Parliament to continue representing Bando constituents. She had 256 votes in the primaries, which had the likes of Kilian Donko, Sebastian Day, and Fonu Kofi Patakpa. Mr. Donko, who resigned his chairmanship position to contest the primaries, had this to say after declaration of results.
I don't want anybody to say because his candidate didn't win, so I'm not going to support the party again. I want everybody to come on board. We are all going to do the house-to-house campaign so that in 2020 we'll capture power from MPP.
Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, Emmanuel Bejra, James Aveji, Kwame Agboja, Angela Taylor, De La Soa, Kobi Woyome, and 3 other incumbents triumphed over their contenders in Saturday's primaries. Fred Kwame Asare's report for JoyNews.
Now, Ningo Pram MP Sam George is confident the opposition NDC will wrestle power from the NPP in 2020. Well, Mr. George, who saw of competition to emerge as his party's parliamentary candidate, says the NDC remains united and now focused on the task ahead. JoyNews' Joseph Akable monitored the primaries at the Ningo Pram constituency and has put together some signs and sounds you may have missed.
sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm very well.
In terms of the process so far, how has it been?
It's been peaceful. It's been, I mean, there's no problem with the process as at now.
And in terms of your interactions with the delegates, a short while ago, they voted massively for you as the constituency chairman. You are now contesting as MP. The same delegates, even though this time around you have a different opponent. Confident of victory?
Very confident of victory. In the constituency congress or conference that elected me as the chairman, I beat his person with close to 200 votes. And all those 200 people are still alive and they voted today. So you see the result at the end of the day.
If the gentleman who is contesting, he's my cousin, okay? If he thinks in his wildest dreams that I'm going to get a maximum of 200 votes today and he will back the rest, in a little over 5 hours, the ballot boxes will be open and counted and we will see the results.
Before I let you go, one of my colleagues, when I took a photograph of you, she said that you, MFR Power, she actually said that you have interesting outfits always for elections. This time around, Jata, what is it you wearing? Tell us about your outfit.
Well, elections are, like I said, a science and an art. There's a lot of things that go into elections, into the psyche of delegates and all of that. We can have a discussion about that some other day. But yeah, I got you talking. I wanted that. I got it.
Thank you very much. So you were the MP. Someone now to George there.
It's a normal thing. I'm a human being and I support the one I want to support.
I extend a hand of fellowship, and you've seen me exhibit it here, to my brother Michael. Together, the focus is to increase the margin of victory between myself and whoever the NPP will elect next month to 20,000 votes, a margin of 20,000 votes. The vision is to kick out the incompetent Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government and bring John Dramani Mahama to the Flagstaff House on the 7th of January 2021. That's all that matters to me, and that's my next focus.
First of all, let me thank the Almighty God for a successful elections. Let me take this opportunity to also thank my family, my wife, my children, my friends, and the delegates. I would also congratulate Honorable Sam George for winning these elections. I think I tried my best, but the delegate selected him. My next line of action will be to do everything possible to get the votes of NDC Ningo Pram increased for our presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Mr. George is and will be the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the 2020 election. So this is the situation here at the Ningo Pram constituency. We have a winner, and that winner is Samuanati George, the incumbent member of parliament.
Interesting sights and sounds from Ningo Pram. Now, winner of the Tema Central constituency, E.B. Bright, says she'll collaborate with other colleagues in the constituency to ensure the grassroots structure is properly positioned to chalk victory for the party against the NPP. She spoke on the AM show earlier with Mama Viewusu Abwaje.
It felt more like a continuation. I'd already, if you remember, my first outing was unanimous showing you because I went unopposed. But it's always been important to me to grow the NDC as a party in Tema Central. So this contest is one of my dreams come true. I didn't, it wouldn't happen again that Tema Central is considered some ground that nobody wants, and it's just there for whoever feels sorry for the NDC to pick up. This time we had 3 strong comrades contesting for that position, and well, the results show that Ebi Bright was the clear choice. So it wouldn't be said anymore that you know, she went unopposed and it's because there's nothing going on there. There is a lot going on there.
You sound like you like competition. The fact that other people contested makes you feel better, at least.
It's not the competition. If I like competition, I would have been in the competition. I really wasn't in the competition. I didn't go around campaigning. I went around engaging the constituents on the issues because this is my constituency. I understood, and I do understand it. I understand what we need, and I was focused on addressing those things. And one of what we need, or one of what we needed, is this contest, because the NDC in Tema Central needs to build its structure and relationships. And this is one of the key processes that cements our internal democracy. We've never had this opportunity before. So as I moved around, I was just so happy. One of the happiest days of my life in that constituency, in this whole political...
Was last Saturday?
Yes, was Saturday. You know, I just seeing people come out and knowing that they weren't there just because one person was out there to represent us, but that they were going to make a choice. And just taking the constituency through that process for me was more wonderful than anything else.
To my constituency.
In my constituency, so winning the primaries is not necessarily the goal. There's some constituencies, once you win the primaries, you're assured of your seat in parliament. It's not so, at least not for the NDC in Tema Central. There's a lot of work to do. And in my case also, I think that my #1 task is supporting the party structure, because we're an infant constituency and in not a recognized stronghold for the NDC. I say recognized because we need to do some work to prove that we actually could be the preferred choice, you know, preferred political affiliation for Tema Central. And we need to do the work. And so I'm focused on the work. So it depends on what the dynamics are in your constituency.
Okay.
Yeah, and for mine, I think that engaging the people and looking at leadership, not only in the party and for the party, but to the constituency at large. How do we make the NDC strong and attractive, not only to its own members, but to people looking on the outside? How do we prove to the constituency at large that we can provide them credible and capable leadership in parliament? So this is what I'm focused on. This is it. For, I mean, you'll see if 3 people come up to contest, very keen competition. Very keen competition. I hope that you noticed. It was very keen competition. Comrade Sedina Matanawi was all over, social media, everywhere, which I didn't do for primaries because I went straight into the national election. So I gave them the open playing field. I didn't even engage at all. You know, she was there, Carl Owumpesika, the whole constituency was alive and beautiful. And I think we've sent a clear signal to whomever is looking, both within our constituency and outside, that we're serious. Imagine all these forces together towards 2020. It's not going to be an issue of Ebi Bright. We've sold this person already. We've announced our presence and the fact that this person is going to be leading the constituency. This time we showed them that we just don't have one person to show you. We have a whole force of capable, credible people who can push to make sure that we give the constituency what it deserves.
Are the 2 helping you out? You know, now that you've chosen to represent the constituency, are they supporting you? Do you know if their supporters are on board? Are they coming out for you?
Well, they'll have to be. The one thing that we share in common, first of all, is the fact that we're all comrades. Comrades meaning that we're all members of the NDC. And for people to take up this kind of challenge, to run a whole campaign to this stage, is because that they mean well for the party. And so I'm sure that we will all do the needful. We've just come out of elections and we need to sit down and strategize and fuse all of that. But it's something that I'm very hopeful will happen.
From one actor turned politician to the other, John Dumelo, who won the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency candidature for the NDC, dismissed claims of indulging in vote buying. According to him, addressing the needs of constituents does not amount to vote buying. He spoke on the same show, that's the AM show, over the phone.
It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of one-on-one engagement. I think for me, that's what does it. That's what did it for me. If you recall, I was supposed to contest in the by-election, which I didn't. And so from the by-election time, which is around December, up until now, so you can say for about 9-10 months, I had been continuously working in Ayawaso West. History has taught us that sometimes most of the parties, most of the party hierarchy didn't probably involve everybody. And moving forward, I think the grassroots are the people, the grassroots are the men and the women who actually are on the ground and they know everything from beginning to end. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, involving everybody in my campaign start. And that was my campaign message during the primaries. It's like, look, you know what? I'm going to involve everybody in the campaign. The campaign is just not going to be limited to a certain group of people. I'm going to involve each and every branch executive, each and every opinion leader in each area. We have been able to come up with a solid plan to involve the students a lot in this upcoming elections in 2020, and that's exactly what it's going to do for us. Regardless who wins, I know for a fact that in 2020, NDC is going to take the seat. Mind you, looking at the statistics, if you take 2012 and 2016, and NPP only increased their votes by just 750 between 2012 and 2016. And so it's not like it was a marginal increase. We lost by 10,000 in 2016 because there was general voter apathy and people didn't just go and vote. And so, as we speak, I feel and I know that with a lot of hard work, we will win. A lot of people also say that, yes, the NPP are well-resourced, and so on and so forth. But look, in 2016, NDC was well-resourced, but we lost the election. And so it's sometimes not really about resource. It's about putting in place certain strategies that you need to be able to win elections.
Just before you go, one of the biggest issues coming out of the Saturday's primaries is vote buying. It's made huge headlines because of some of the allegations that some of the those who took part in the contests are flying around. In your particular constituency, I'm not sure we've heard anything like that. But no. What's your general take on it?
Well, at the end of the day, you can't really define what vote buying is. Look, before the elections, I was paying school fees for delegates. Before the elections, I was giving out loans to women who are delegates to expand their business and so on and so forth. I don't think that's vote buying. I think for me, it is helping people to be able to expand their businesses or helping people and so on and so forth. I even donated plastic chairs to certain branches because at the end of the day, when you go and you speak to them, they say that, oh, John, we don't have plastic chairs. We rent plastic chairs. And I was like, no, okay, then let me get you plastic chairs. So all these things are things that I have been doing. I don't think that is vote buying.
So you had the actor turned politician John Dumelo